Hello everyone. Before we jump into the actual design portion of this, I wanted to talk a little bit about creating screens and creating fixture blocks so that you can do things not just for the drawing you're in now, but also for future drawings so that you don't have to keep going back and recreating the things you've already created. And fixture blocks are a very powerful tool and very helpful for you in speeding things up. So you'll notice here that I have a couple of screens that I've created already as fixture blocks. These are 20-foot screens, but we're going to create a different size. And so the way we're going to do that is we're going to jump back into the Show Designer module. And I had done something earlier that in between this video and it has worked. Thank goodness. The the screen kept going out beyond the recording area, so I had gone into settings and stored the layout, and I did not know if it would actually keep the size of the whole window itself, but it did. So good thing. Let's maximize this and switch over to a front view, and we're going to delete these screen objects and create a new one. So we're going to create a standard 16-foot by 9-foot screen with dress kit, and I will show you how I did that. So the first thing you need to do is import your objects and your fixtures. So under fixture list, you would go to add, and then common is grayed out, so that means we're there. And then we go to generic panel, you open that, and 99% of the time I'm going to use the 1 meter by 1 meter. I've never used this other panel before, this panel for custom shape. And what I hope it does, what the panel for custom shape does, is back when you wanted to create custom shapes for your screens, like let's say you had a 30-degree angle on a curve. Well, when you went in to use that shape as a video screen, you would still see the panel that you started with, and it was a pain because then you had to move your camera around. And it would always stay in the viewport, and you could never just grab the screen, grab the camera's view, and export it because it might be in that grab. So you would just go in and do that. So anyway, so let's go back. They're already in here, you'll notice, both of them. But so what we're going to do first of all, let's go ahead and make this a 16-foot by 9-foot screen. So we'll go to that generic panel, 1 meter by 1 meter. It is selected because it has a red box. Properties, panel shape, rectangle. This is the easiest way to do it. You do a 16-foot, and the height is going to be 9 feet. Apply, and now you have a 16 by 9 screen. We need to go a little bit further with this. First of all, if you were to create a hard set, or this was going to be part of a hard set, you wouldn't need to go through the extra step of creating a border. But this is going to be a 16 by 9 with a dress kit. We need to add a border so that we are actually paying attention to those details. And the way we create a border is you select an object, go into rectangle, it comes into the viewport, properties, and then your width is going to be this is going to be a 4-inch border all the way around, so it's 16 feet, 8 inches. The height is going to be 9 feet, 8 inches. Apply, and no border that I've ever seen is that color, so we need to go in and we need to change the color of that border to a flat black and apply. Okay, now if I come up and get the move tool and I just grab as close to center as possible, it will snap to center. You just have to kind of when you get a close to center, just kind of move a little slower and it'll snap there. So 16 by 9 screen with a 4-inch border all the way around. And next thing we want to do is create a dress kit for this. So I've already imported the curtains. Let's go ahead and show you where they are. View, object list, import, go to common, select that, and then go down to your curtains. And we will start with a 10 meter by 1 meter for the valance and skirt, and a 3 meter by 10 meter for the legs. They're already in there, as you can see, and there you have it. Now, you can do this a couple of different ways. You can import this 10 meter by 1 meter, and then go into, you can switch over to the modeler and size it how you want it, name it valance, and that way you can just insert it every time. We're only going to be doing this once. So I don't see, and because we're not mapping any materials to it, there's no real need for us to go in and create a custom model. So what we need to do is go to properties, and it's this is a 16 wide screen with a 4-inch border, but we're just going to go 16 feet wide. And most of the time, the height of a valance is going to be between 8 and 12 inches. We'll make it 12 inches. And the depth. So, if you'll notice right over here, the back side of the pleat is actually, these aren't actually pleats, they're just, the curve of the screen, the gathering, is on goes beyond the screen surface. Well, with the dress kit, it's not necessarily going to be 7 inches deep. This is not a soft good that you would see maybe on a stage. Typically, these are sewn pleats, and we're going to go ahead and make this, let's see, how deep do we want it? We'll make it a 2-inch deep pleat. Hit apply. You still have that problem, but it's not nearly as bad. If you'll see here, we're going to move it down, and we want to see a little bit of the border. So if you get in close and you take the red line to it, and I'll deselect, you'll see just a little bit of the border shows up. Well, we're still going to see, we're seeing the border come through the pleat, so we're going to go to top view, and you'll see the origin point is at the center, and the pleat actually goes way back here. So if we move the back of the pleat so that it does not go beyond the screen, when we come back to the front, and let's find it, that pleat will stay on the front side of the screen, as you see here. Alright, so there's our valance, and now we're going to copy it down here and create a skirt. And the easiest way to do that, so that you don't have to move it in Z space again, is just go to the duplicate multiple, or array copy in the visualizer. Go here. We're going to select there, and we don't want it to move anywhere in X, Y, 9 feet, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're going to have to nudge it anyway, and hit OK. Now, I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees. So, and you'll see why I'm doing that here in a minute. And I want it to be, first of all, let's move in, and I'm going to, make sure you select the right tool when you go to work with your nudging. Take the red line to right where the border ends. Shift escape to make sure. Alright, now the reason why I rotated that 180 degrees is because now the origin point is here. And when I go to change the height of this skirt, this part where I have masked it will stay. So I'm going to go properties, and we're going to make this now 5 feet tall. Oops, 5 feet. And you'll see that when I hit apply, it just goes down. I don't have to reposition everything again. And there it is. So there's our valance, there's our skirt, and now we need to add the legs. So we'll go back into drop an object, and we will do a 3 meter wide by 2 meter tall, which obviously is way too big. And we'll move that down and get it more as the focus of our screen. We're going to make this a 30-inch wide leg, 30 inches, and the height is 9 plus 5, 14 plus 1, 15 feet tall. Now we'll have to nudge it a little bit because it is, or make it a little bit bigger because there's a little, we're showing a little bit of the valance, and I don't know the exact number there. Again, the depth is a problem, and I believe we made the other one 2 inches deep. Maybe wrong, but I believe that's right. Let's just double check it. Yep, that's right. Now, let's take a look here. If I move this into place, you'll notice that the origin point is down at the bottom, right there. And then we're going to go into Z space, or excuse me, go to top view, take a look, and again move this so that the red line is at the actual surface there, like so. Go front. Now, get in nice and tight here so that you can see what you're doing, and when you go to make your adjustments, come in. Let's take a look at the border, and that's right. Okay, we need to nudge that down one more time. Okay, and it's going to be obvious that the top is short, if you see here. And I come in and I'm going to use the scale tool that's on the Y, and because the origin point is at the bottom of the screen, I can just nudge this up so that it's level at the top, just like that. Alright, so that's our stage left leg, and we need then to go in, and I'm going to move it. I'm not really concerned about that. We don't want it to move anywhere in Y. We'll nudge it over. Take a look here. Move down, and as we did before, we'll put the red line on the border. Shift escape to deselect it. Come down to the bottom. Make sure that these are at the same height, and this is important. Apparently I'm in scale, so don't want to patch anything. There, I'm going to nudge this up. Okay. Hold on one second, what's going on here? Oh, okay, I thought it was something else. So let's nudge that up, and now they should be level. Zoom out, move to the top a little bit, and look at the height of these. So we need to scale down just a touch. And there they are. Those are the same right there. Now, kind of convenient, these the valance and the skirt, the origin point is in the center. So let's get towards so I can see where the valance meets the leg on both sides. Let's zoom out a little bit more. And there's a little gap there, so we're going to come here, choose the horizontal scale tool, right arrow until they overlap here. Okay, they are now overlapping. I'm going to come down, do the same thing with the skirt. They are now overlapping. And so here's our 16-foot by 9-foot screen with dress kit and a border. Now you may ask, why in the world did you create a border? You're not even able to see it. Well, it's just a little detail, and you know what? It's easy to do. Do it. Now we're going to create a fixture block with these items. So we're going to select them all. Make sure that the screen, the actual surface of the screen, is the focus, so that when you go to do your assembly, the screen is what will select the entire assembly. Otherwise, you're going to have to try to figure out where to grab to get everything. So now you'll see that since I created that assembly, I can move this around just by grabbing the screen. And there we go. And we want an assembly versus a group because we need to be able to change the information with this screen and create a fixture block so that they can repeat the same action. Alright, so let's create a fixture block. Save this as a fixture block, File, and then we'll go to Export, Export as fixture block, and go under here. Now I've already created the 20-foot. We're now going to create a 16-foot screen with dress kit. Oh, man, I am a terrible typist. Dress kit. And save. Now, the benefit of this is I can come in, not just in this drawing, but any drawing on this machine, select fixture, click on open space, go to block, and now I can come in, grab my 16-foot screen, and bam, there it is. I can add that into my drawing anytime.